Warning: the following podcast contains violent scenes that may be unsettling to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, and welcome to Changing the Lost Vanity. Vanity is a first edition Chronicles of Darkness game set in southern Florida during the year 1993. Follow Katrina, played by Tillman, Raymond, played by Chris, Isabel, played by Andrew, Frank, played by Slavic, and Adam as the storyteller, as they uncover the mysteries of the true Fae and forge new paths for themselves in a world of beauty and madness. Follow us on Twitter at twin_cities_VTM for channel updates, and we hope you enjoy this episode.
Isabel, you start to pull into the this public library parking lot that Norma, for the library that Norma works in, and Frank is right behind you, and he kind of pulls into the next parking spot. We'll say, Katrina, you probably guided Isabel to where this library is because she has never visited Norma at her place of work before. But once you guys get there, and it's a weekend and the library is closed for the public, but she's still in there doing like busy work and stuff like that. So you kind of see the lights on in this place, but there's no other cars
like
or anything there.
Lot,
it's just like an empty parking lot. Exactly. There's her car there and your guys' car.
All right, so Isabel is like not wasting any time. So she's getting out, turning up the car, going straight to the door and just like rapping on the glass door. Because the libraries always have glass doors.
Yes. Yep. And so you start banging on this glass door, and you quickly see Norma just run to the front and unlock it. And it's kind of like one of those automatic doors where, like, if you stand in front of it, the glass doors will slide open like that. So you see her like unlock it and just like hit the button on the top, and just like the doors like start to slide open, but not fast enough for Norma. So she starts to kind of pull them open that way, and she's just like, what is it? She has this nervous look in her face, like she's just waiting to hear something bad.
I'm attempting to push in with her, like go in the building.
Yeah, and she immediately takes a few steps back to let you guys come in.
Is Frank like still like lagging behind? Like, is he like, because he was driving behind us, it took him I was kind of speeding too.
We'll say that's up to Frank if he wanted to speed along and get there at pretty much the same time as you guys, or if he, we'll let Frank decide that. What's going on with you, Frank?
Yeah, I think Frank would put the pedal to the metal if it came down to it. Doesn't want to be left behind.
Okay. So Frank's behind us, and so I'll wait till everybody's inside and then be like, he fucking killed him, Norma.
What? Who killed who? And you just see this paleness in her face, and her mouth is just wide open.
Fucking Raymond. Tell him, Frank. Tell him. Tell her.
She has a look of horror on her face, and you just see these tears start to well up in her eyes, and she knows, but she doesn't want to believe. She's just, what are you talking about? What happened?
Well, Izzy's right. Raymond, he killed him because he thought he was being controlled by one of the fair folk.
What? She just starts like screaming. She just is like screaming and crying. This is like you guys are all kind of looking at each other like, what do I do? Because she's just on the verge of
No, I'm gonna let her get her like breakdown out. Like, she needs it. Sometimes you gotta let the emotions flow, let them have that moment, give her the chance to freak out, and then console her, hold her for a minute, whatever it takes to just get her to just calm down enough to talk. But that might take a minute or two.
That's a pretty interesting thing. So like, Isabel, you kind of like have this, I feel like Isabel has this understanding of just trauma and stuff like that, to the point where she doesn't try to interject when somebody is in the process of dealing with fucked up news. It's like you understand it enough where you're not going to try to stymie this whole this whole breakdown that she's having. You're going to let her have this cathartic moment where she can just take it all in and just scream and freak out for a second. You understand
believe
that?
it or not, Isabel is empathetic and a very social person, and she gets people, and so she's gonna give her this like moment of time that she might need. I don't know about the others.
Is anybody else saying anything at this point, or?
Frank has no idea what to do.
Katrina is freaking out a little as well. Not as bad as Norma, but like watching her reaction to it, she's probably.
And it would be alarming for you. I mean, you saw like this craziness too, and now you're watching her react to it, and she's screaming and in a panic right now, and you must feel a little bit when you see that. It must.
Yeah, I think it's like I don't know what to call it, but it's like this effect when you see someone yawn, you have to yawn as well.
Yeah.
So you're crying
when
too.
you see someone panic, well, at least Katrina will panic as well.
Also, I imagine because she is the leader of your court, you do feel this sort of kinship with her, and in a way you're hurting because she's hurting, and you guys have both just lost this courtmate. So she just lunges. Norma just lunges to you, Katrina, and she just she's just crying in your shoulder. She just buries her head between your head and your neck, and she's just sobbing uncontrollably. Like you don't even feel like you could pry her off if you tried. She's just glued to you, just weeping like a child.
And then like Isabel comes over and embraces both of them.
Frank has still no idea what to do.
She's trying to get the words out to ask what happened, why, but she just can't. It's just sobbing and just shouting, and just like she's not saying any words, nothing that makes any sense at this point. It's just a complete breakdown of screaming and crying. This is hitting her so hard, and she just heard about it, and it's just she's just devastated.
After a minute or two, Isabel's going to try to help her regain some of her composure and just kind of calm her and be like, "Shh, look, we got to talk about this. I need you to calm down for just a minute so we can tell you everything."
And she's just like, she's breathing very like hyperventilating a little bit, just trying to catch her breath and calm herself down. It's a lot like when a little kid is upset and crying, and they get themselves so worked up that they just can't even get the words out. She's just like, what happened? And eventually you're able to get her to where she'll sit down at either one of these desks that people can read at. They have these tables, long tables with a bunch of chairs where people can just sit down and do work at, and she'll pull a chair out and just kind of like sit down, and she's just like, what happened?
Frank, get her some water.
Yeah, Frank just goes along trying to find like a bottle of water, or at least like a mug where he can, put some water, something.
Yeah, you see like a bunch of coffee mugs that they kind of have on the counter for whoever to use, and there's like a water cooler not too far away from you.
So while he's doing that, she says to her, "He went off the deep end. I don't know. He was saying like something was happening to Manny. Something. He was sick. I could see it, and I tried to get him out of there, and he was yelling at me, and he didn't want me to take him away. And then Frank started freaking out in another room and screaming and yelling, and that's when he was like, 'Take him, get him out.' So I grabbed him, Manny, and I drove off. But then he wanted to go back. I shouldn't have taken him back, but I did, and we went back. And when we got back, I heard it, and he shot him. And Manny, he just said to leave. He just said to leave. And I don't think he's gonna deal with this. I saw it in his face. He's just not. I don't know. He's too close to him. I had to come tell you. I couldn't not say anything, because I know he's gonna tell me not to. I know it.
You just see Norma is just completely broken. She just is staring straight ahead. She's not making eye contact with any of you. She's pale as a ghost, but she's listening to everything you say, and she has no response. She's just completely in shock.
So Katrina will take a little bit to regain composure, but then explain. Something weird happened to Charlie.
What happened to him?
Well, Manny was feeling sick, but then somehow we all felt really nauseous in the room. And I don't think any one of us really knows what caused it. And, well, then things were chaotic, and everyone was trying to get out, and especially Manny. We were dragging him out, but then I got a glimpse of Charlie, and I think he fainted, and I wanted to help him, but I don't know. Is Frank back?
Yeah, we'll say Frank is coming back into the room with a mug of water from the water cooler.
Here you go.
What happened to you in the bathroom?
Well, I saw something in the mirror.
What did you see?
I think it was one of them.
She looks up at you and kind of still has this expression of horror from just having
you
all of
sure,
this
though?
unloaded on
Are
her
you
at once.
sure though? Because at this point, Isabel, remember, she saw that like dream and went into his mind, and like it was not what she was expecting. So she's completely like, there's some mind fuckery going on. So she's like, "Are you sure though? Are you sure?"
Frank,
Frank
out of
just
character, really
shrugs.
quick. You probably would be sure when you saw it. Something hit you on
okay.
like a primordial level that just like it just was so wrong that it could only be one of them. If that makes any sense.
I feel like it's true. It's like going back there, just seeing the thing.
On him saying that, like going back there, she's like, "Okay."
Norma is just. I don't even know what to say. Charlie's dead, and there's one of them, and Raymond is where?
I was talking to Manny when we left him.
Yeah.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but couldn't. It's not in me to just let this go.
We have to warn the others if you've seen something, Frank. If you've seen one of them, we have to warn the others. We can let Charlie's people know what happened to him, and hopefully one of them can reach out to his grandma. And she starts to break down as she says that, and she's just like, "I was supposed to take care of him. I was supposed to look after him. I should have never let Raymond look after him." And she's just like breaking down.
It's not your fault for trusting that fuck. Pinche puta.
But if they control the kid, couldn't they be controlling someone else?
We don't know what happened. What is true? Raymond killed him.
Yeah, we totally don't know what happened. Charlie fainted.
Okay.
The only
He
thing
was
we know
sick.
for sure is Raymond killed him.
Well, I'm confident he'll answer before the Freehold at some point. I don't know him to be a dishonorable man or to be a coward, but I think he'll
Well, he's
come.
a murderer.
Well, that may be true, but I still think he's a. I don't even know what to think. I trusted him. I can't believe I trusted him. He's just staring off into the distance, just like has this just look of just disbelief on her face, just like wow, like she just can't even process all of this at once. It's just too much, and she's just doesn't even know what to say, how to take the next step. She is like she's the leader of the Autumn Court, but right now she is just like a shell of a person. It's hard to just even get words out of her at this point. And she's just still sitting at that desk, just kind of staring off into space, just not sure what to say. And every couple of seconds that passes in silence, she'll just say, "I was supposed to look after him. I was supposed to protect him, and I failed him. I failed him so bad."
Norma, you've got to talk to Manny.
Suppose I should call him right now. And you'll see. She gets up and walks over to where the phone is, and she just kind of like puts her hands on the counter and just like stretches and like puts her head down and is just like dreading it.
Before she makes any kind of phone call, I'm gonna say to her, "You remember what I said that I had to come tell you before Manny said something? Because it's not in me to let this go. I can't. I don't want him telling me I can't say something, that I can't do something, because I know he will. So, how do I get in touch with the crow people?
She looks at you,
He can't tell me I can't do it if he can't talk to me, or if I talk to them first.
and she's just kind of like staring at you, just like contemplating. And then you see her before she goes next to the phone, and she has like this like little Rolodex, and she just starts like digging through it, and she pulls a card out, and she just hands it to you, and she just like turns it and picks up the phone.
I'm leaving.
Yeah. So are you walking out of there right now?
I'm leaving the building right
Okay.
now. If Katrina isn't following, she's gonna have to hitch a ride with Frank.
Or with Norma. And
Or
I
with
think
Norma.
Katrina is staying.
You're gonna stay with Norma. That's a good call. You can see how much pain she's in right now, and you probably would want to sort of be there to comfort her. Isabel, what are you thinking right now as you walk out of there with this card?
All right, so Isabel's virtue is justice. A driving goal behind her is making sure that wrongs are righted. And she has a big glaring wrong in her face right now. Something to focus on, something that needs to be fixed, and she thinks she knows best. And that the best way to fix this is to let everybody know on what fucked up shit went down in her own way. So she is going straight to find these people, these crow people, and let them know what happened to one of their own, because they're gonna want vengeance. And whatever happens at the end of this, there's not gonna be a cover up. There's not gonna be some like, we're not gonna talk about this, because it's in her mind, this is like one of the worst things you could do is killing another changeling. That is one of the worst possible things. So she is, because they're supposed to band together. You're supposed to be able to depend on each other. And now she feels like Raymond is like someone you cannot depend on, and everyone needs to know it. So that's kind of what's going through her head
I
and
love
her
that.
motivation.
And I mean, Norma had to think about it for a little bit, but she gave you that card, so you know that she also agrees that Raymond should face some sort of justice for what's going to happen. And from what you know about like freehold politics and stuff like that, not that you've been a member of like a bunch of freeholds and have seen this happen in like communities you've been a part of, you know that when stuff goes wrong, they try to take like a democratic approach to it, where a person is judged by the freehold, and usually they'll just be exiled. Like you said, it's the idea of killing other changelings is like cardinal sin in the freehold. So even a changeling who does something terrible, they probably wouldn't be like executed or anything like that. They like the very worst would just be like stripped of their mantle, like kicked out of their court or whatever, and just like not a part of the freehold. So like
Maybe some kind of like pledge or something like that involved.
yeah, exactly. And so like part of you probably feels, and Norma probably feels this as well, that this is like one of the only ways for like true justice to happen, and like justice as like you see it is for like Charlie's people to know like the truth about like what happened to him, and for them to just not be hindered in seeking whatever they seek from that. Isabel, you leave the building. Frank and Katrina, you guys are still there right now.
So Frank is actually probably gonna go home because he thinks Manny will call him there.
Katrina, you're just watching Norma just kind of like sit by the phone, just like trying to get the courage to pick it up, trying to formulate what she would even say. Frank kind of just follows out the door, maybe a minute or two after Isabel did. And Frank, do you head straight home? You're still driving Manny's car, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess
The thing is, like, you're not really sure how Manny could be reached right now, because he just walked away from Raymond's house,
exactly.
left you with his car, didn't really tell anybody where he was going or what the next step was going to be.
Yeah,
And so you're not really.
I think
It's like any
Frank
move
would
could
want
be
to stay home and just by his phone.
Right. Okay. So as Frank leaves, Katrina, you're still in there with Norma, and she's just looking at you. Right now, it's just you two. It's just two members of the Autumn Court, and she's looking, at you with this like despair in her eyes of just like surely you understand too. Like we just lost one of our people, you know? She's like looking at you to see like cuz she can tell that you're shaken by it too. And she just reaches out and she grabs your hand and she just squeezes it tight. And she just says, "Katrina, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for wrapping you up in all this. This is so my fault. This is so my fault. I shouldn't be leading you guys. I'm no leader at all."
Katrina just bites her lip, trying to fight back even more tears.
I can't believe I've led you guys so wrong. I can't believe it. I got him killed. I got him killed because I trusted him with a madman.
I trusted him too, you know.
And there's one of them out there. I feel like this is just the end, you know? I feel like things are just only going to get worse from here. We have members of our Freehold dying. We have one of them in our midst. I don't know what to do. Part of me just wants to take off.
No. If there truly is one of them out there, they're just playing with us. But now it's here.
See her,
And then we can't run away anymore.
her eyes start to well up again, and she just begins sobbing again, and she's like, "I'd rather die than go back. I'd rather die right now than go back."
I think that just hits Katrina real hard. Also hits home a little bit.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't really know what the story is behind Norma's durance or anything like that. I mean, it's would be considered like bad etiquette to really talk about people's traumas with them and stuff like that.
I don't think it's like you go out to dinner. So what's your story?
Yeah, exactly. And so, but you just see this like fear of just like in her eyes, just like when she says like, "I'd rather die than go back." Like, it's like she's afraid she's going to go back right now. You know, just hearing that one of them is back or one of them is here, it just, you know, it's like she just wants to run out the door right now. It's just like, even before, when it was just a possibility, she was able to rationalize it, able to bury it, to put it out of her head as something else. But now she believes, because of what she's heard, that this is very much one of them, and she just does not even want to face it. And she's giving you this look like, "What do I do?"
We need to call Manny now, because whatever we do, we need to at least work with him.
And so she picks up the phone and she dials a number very quickly, a number that she knows from memory. And you just see her kind of tapping her foot, you know, waiting. And then as you hear like the answering machine faintly through the speaker of the phone, she just hangs it up and she's just like, "He wasn't there."
Shit. I didn't even think of that. Of course he wasn't there. Frank had his car. He can't even be home right now.
Frank, you're just reaching your apartment right now. And as you pull into the driveway, you see Manny pacing around outside. Like he's just kind of been waiting for you to get there.
Okay. Manny, how did you get here?
I
I
walked.
say after, pull over.
I walked. Can we go inside, Frank?
Sure.
And so you guys, he follows you through the apartment building into your small apartment, and you shut the door behind you, and, he just kind of stands holding his hips, just pacing around the room. And he's just like, "Got a real fucked up situation on our hands here, Frank. Not really quite sure what the next step is."
Well, you always figure things out, boss.
I got to call Norma.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm sure.
Are you going to tell him that you guys had just seen her? Because as far as he knows, she still doesn't know. And he's saying that he wants to call her and tell her at this point.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, we've already been to Norma's. Isabel, she thought Norma should know about this.
And you see he sighs and he nods and he's like, it's only fair, I guess. She should know that one of her own has fallen and another one is gone.
Well, I wanted to wait for you to see what you had to say.
I appreciate that, Frank. I'm going to tell you Exactly what I'm going to tell the others. I let Raymond go. I gave him a head start. I told him that he still has a chance to find out the truth and hopefully clear his name and make right of this whole thing. But he's going to have to come back. We swore on it. No matter what he finds, he's going to have to come back and face judgment for what he did.
Okay. I don't think Isabel will like that very much.
I don't think she will. I'm afraid I didn't have much of a choice, though. You see, we need him. We're a small freehold, and he might be the only one. I don't know. This is a fucking mess, Frank. This is a real fucking mess. You know, when we
Yeah,
went out
boss.
driving 2 days ago,
Mm,
I would have
I
never,
remember.
I would have never pictured that all this fucking bullshit would have snowballed into something that just feel is totally
What did they
beyond my
do?
control at this point.
What did they do?
What do you mean?
People we visited.
I I don't know. I honestly don't know. When we visited them, it was just to make them stop doing their tricks, stop making it so regular people could see what we look like. You know, they're not part of our court. I shouldn't have fucking bothered. I'm not part of our freehold. I shouldn't have fucking got involved. But whatever they're up to over there, it's somehow followed us back here, and I think it has something to do with what's been going on with Charlie. I think it has something to do with whatever the fuck you saw in that mirror. I think this is all it's all the same thing, but it's different. I can't help but feeling like Charlie not remembering and us going there and getting the dolls and all this stuff and the kids that are missing, it's all related, but I just don't know how.
Mm, well, should I tell the others about the other changelings we visited? Or the changeling?
It's gonna have to come out. I mean, I'm gonna have to tell Norma about about this fucking trouble, and she's already gonna hate me for I don't know. This is just a fucking mess, Frank. This is a fucking nightmare. Can we can we just sit here a minute? I need
Of
to
course,
think.
Manny. I brought some food. Well, food. What he brought is like chips and, sandwiches and whatever.
Just gas station food.
Yeah, gas station stuff.
And so you'll put that out on the table, and he'll kind of just like stare at it, and then just he has his elbows on the table like this, and he has like his head in between his hands like that, and he's just kind of just like thinking at this point. It's like so far the summer court leader and the autumn court leader are just at a total loss for how to deal with this. I would honestly say you guys as like courtiers are handling this like much more maturely than the leaders of your respected courts are. So, all right, from there I want to cut over to Isabel. Describe what's gone on since you've left the library with this card. Have you gone ahead and made any phone calls yet? How would you be doing this?
When she got in the car, she would have looked at the card.
Okay.
Like she just took it and like left. But when she got in, as soon as she got in her car, before she drove off anywhere, she would have looked at it. With the car light on, with the door kind of half cocked open, the night air, and just reading over what it says.
And so you just see written in just, sloppy penmanship, Melissa Bennett, and just a 7-digit phone number underneath.
Okay. So she would dial it, and as it's ringing, start the car.
Okay. So as your car starts, this call seems to ring and ring and ring, and as soon as you think it's going to go over to the answering machine, you hear the line pick up, and there's some fumbling on the other end before you finally hear like a very muffled, just like, hello?
Melissa?
Who is this?
Isabel.
Isabel.
Isabel Martinez?
Okay. And so she would know who you are because you have like a few buds in the spring court, like you hang out with Nicole every now and then. Nicole is a member of the spring court. At the very least, Melissa would know who you are. Whether or not you guys have made formal introductions or anything like that. When you say your full name, she knows what you're talking about, and she says, "Okay,
Are you one of the crow people?
what is this?"
I'm trying to find the crow people. So if you can get me in contact with them, or if you're one of them, let them know. It's
I'm
important.
look, whatever you're calling to say, you can say. Just say
No,
it.
I can't. I can't just say it.
I'm one of them. I'm part of them.
Can we talk in person?
Where are you?
I don't remember the name of the public library that we were at, but I'll just tell her I'm like leaving this library.
Okay, and where should I meet you? What is this?
I have news for you, and you're not gonna like it. We need to meet now.
Okay, where?
Anywhere you pick.
Okay. Listen, how far away are you from? And she'll just list off like a just outside of like a Applebee's type of like an Applebee's restaurant, and she tells you like, okay, the Applebee's in off of blah 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 and blah blah blah, and you know where it is, and it's like 10 minutes away from where you're at, and this is going to be
Okay.
like a halfway point for you two.
So she says, "All right, Melissa. I'll see you there."
And so I take it you just start driving about 10 minutes, and you're there, and you pull into this Applebee's parking lot, and the second you are in the parking lot, you see Melissa standing outside of a car with another person. This is actually one of your court mates. His name is Ronnie Mathis, and you remember him from the opening night at the nightclub. Raymond, you were actually were the one that talked to him during the opening night, but he's a summer court, one of the crow people, and he's just kind of gone with Melissa. He is a he's got this body that looks like he's just constructed out of like just natural rocks and stuff like that. He looks like he's just been assembled with stones, and there's just these different like protrusions and lumps, and his body is very uneven. It's very asymmetrical. It's got like his clothing is like very loose because it's just thrown over this body that just is jagged in certain places and flat in other places, and it's like nothing he wears can look normal on him. He just has like this bizarre stone flesh.
What is Melissa's appearance like? Her changeling.
So Melissa is she's a fairist. I mean, she looks very beautiful, but she also has like somewhat grotesque features. The lobes of her ears hang down very low, and also she has like this hair that is it's really long, and it's really like wild and curly, but it's also just like not really hair. It's like this type of vines that are kind of just like almost like dreadlocks, but they kind of are just like these thin strands that kind of like bind together and twist around, and she has these like sort of branches that stick out, and it looks like there's different sorts of foliage and stuff that's sort of caught in her famine. And so they're both leaning against this red like hatchback kind of like beat up car. They look like they've been standing there for like a minute or two, and they're just kind of waiting, and once they see that you're pulling in, that you see this anticipation on their face, and she's not really sure what it is. So you can see immediately she brought another person with her.
Yeah. Okay. So I pull up, maybe like putting one like parking space between us. Get out, go around the car towards them. Meeting them in like the middle between the vehicles.
Yes. Melissa just looks at you like kind of uneasy, kind of just wants you to spit it out. But you can also see her face is sweating. Her eyes are kind of dilated. She looks a little bit on edge.
So Isabel just kind of has this moment of like, am I doing the right thing? Kind of indecision. Just like, she just kind of, it takes her a second to kind of, because, she's like, well, like this anticipation, everything's building up to this. And now she just kind of, just for a brief moment, is just kind of like, okay, how do I start this shit? She didn't know, like, she didn't have a plan. She wasn't going into this with an idea of like, I have this speech prepared. No, she's kind of like just winging it, and this isn't what she does. So she just kind of hesitates for a moment, and then like blurting out. She just kind of blurts it out. Charlie's dead. Like it takes her a second, but then she just like I said, blurts it out at them. Almost like just like I don't know, word vomit.
Give me a. I want to do like a persuasion type roll because they are just going to say bullshit at first. But I don't know if that'd be manipulation because it's true. But I mean, maybe either presence and persuasion or manipulation and persuasion.
Okay, well, it's the same dice pool for both. Would
Oh, that's
striking
right.
looks
Okay.
apply?
No, because it doesn't
Didn't
really
think so.
matter in this type of news.
Didn't think so. Had to ask.
So as soon as you say that, at first, like, you see Melissa is kind of like, bullshit. And then she thinks about it for a second and she's just like, are you fucking serious? What's going on right now?
So 3 successes.
Yeah, so she's like about to just be like, what? No. And then she's just like, wait a minute. Like, she had me come all the way over here. Like, okay, what the fuck? She's just like, what the fuck is going on? What happened
How
to
is
Charlie?
how is Ronnie responding? Does he say anything?
He's just standing there, stone face.
She's not gonna lie. She has no reason to lie. She's not here to tell truth. She's here to find justice. So she says he was shot by Raymond.
And she's just blank for a minute. And then she turns to Ronnie and she's just like, oh my God. And she looks back to you and she's just like, where the fuck is he? Do you know where he
Who?
is? Where the fuck is he? Raymond. Charlie, where's Charlie?
Charlie's in
Where did
Raymond's
they leave
house.
him?
I don't know where Raymond is. Charlie's in Raymond's house. Manny was there, and I didn't trust him to handle it. I didn't know if he was going to tell you the truth, and I had to tell you. I couldn't just let this go. You had to know.
You just see her expression is blank for a second, and then you just see like a single tear just roll down her cheek, and then another, and she just looks over to Ronnie, and she's just like, Ronnie, let's go. And they just hop
Wait.
in the car, and
Wait.
she turns back to you.
Norma told me how to find you. If you have questions, you can talk to her. You can trust her.
And she doesn't say anything, and she just gets back into the driver's seat of this red hatchback, and they just peel out.
So Isabel kind of like backs up a few steps, leaning against her car, and just kind of like quietly sobs for a little while.
So that couldn't have been easy to do. I mean,
No, it wasn't.
But at the same time, do you feel like you did the right thing?
Yeah. Like
'Cause I see you shaking your head,
they
dude.
deserve to know. They deserve to have whatever closure they are going to need in the end. Like leaving them like questioning or whatever is not the answer. So the sooner they are able to know and do whatever it is they feel like they need to do, the better. And so for her, it was hard, but like it's even harder for them, you know?
Right. And I mean, you don't know like a whole ton about this group, but what you do know about them is this is one of the
They
one of
pledge
the
to each other.
they pledge for life. Like
Yeah, that's enough.
yeah, and like a lot of changelings will pledge to each other for like they'll pledge to get the job done together. But these guys have made a lifelong pact that they're going to look out for each other. And they've even been to multiple freeholds together. You know, they've tried to make their life work in multiple places, and when it doesn't, they've tried somewhere else. But no
Just
matter
knowing-
what, they've always been a group.
Just knowing that they have that pledge and hearing him talk about it, just that alone was enough to make up the decision that she needed to tell them. It wasn't easy for her, delivering news of like a loved one's death is never easy for anyone. But the fact that they made that pledge to someone else, the fact that they are magically bound to each other, made her like, no, I need to do something about this. I need to tell them, and she's like, no one else is gonna do it. All these other people are too busy, crying over it.
And it's true. Like when you guys told Norma what had happened, she immediately broke down. When you told Melissa what had happened, she shed a few tears, but ultimately you saw in her face that it was time for war. It was time for revenge. It was time to take action and not just to mourn her loss.
Yeah.
She shed a few tears. She she was hurt, but there was something inside of her that immediately called her to action because of that. And maybe
There's
maybe
two
that's
kinds
the
of people.
magic relationship that they have. But
There's two kinds of people. There's the people who watch and the people who act. At least that's how Isabel sees it.
Hello, folks. Have you ever wished you could have an easy way to find gameplay videos and podcasts, or just media in general that deals with your favorite White Wolf role-playing games? Or have you ever wished you could find a forum to share gameplay that you have recorded, one which wouldn't be drowned out by random posts and discussion, so that your media could get the attention you want? Well, we have the answer for you in a Facebook group we run called White Wolf RPGs Gameplay and Media. The group is specifically ran with the sole intent of it being a one-stop shop for people to view or share media involving the games we all love. We take thorough steps to ensure the page does not become cluttered and is easy to traverse. We are currently over 1,000 members strong, and we are continuing to rapidly grow, with new media being shared every day. Stop on by. We hope to see you there. High Level Games, the industry's first choice in taking your games to the next level. We are a podcast blog and new media network at highlevelgames.ca. We have blog posts about all of your favorite games going up 5 days a week, and a podcasting network with actual plays and shows that discuss role-playing games, with more rolling out all the time. We are on iTunes, Twitch, and YouTube. Find out more information at highlevelgames.ca, a site that certainly isn't controlled by a shadowy board of directors of otherworldly origin. That's highlevelgames.ca.
Please, help. They're coming.
The Los Angeles metropolitan area is constantly growing and changing. The Central District is full of new buildings. The Hollywood and Wilshire districts, once far from downtown, now are part of a which spreads past Beverly Hills and out to the ocean. But why is all this going on in Los Angeles? Why is Los Angeles an exploding city?
Neon Masquerade.
The Demon's Mirror.
13 Candles.
3 Chronicles running through the undead veins of the City of Angels.
The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers Actual Play Podcast invites you to drink deeply.
Go to eorpodcast.com and search the Duets tag to find out more.